Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanand Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Jaya Krishna Balaram 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 Mithai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Shri Nitai Gauranga ki Shri Krishna Balaram ki Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. So reading from chapter 4, Transcendental Knowledge, text 6. Ajopi san avyayatma. Ajopi san avyayatma. Bhutanam ishwaropi san. Bhutanam ishwaropi san. Prakritim swam adhishthaya. Prakritim swam adhishthaya. Sambhavami atmamayaya. Sambhavami atmamayaya. Anyone like to chant shloka? Okay. Go to translation and purport. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all sentient beings, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. Please repeat. Although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all sentient beings, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. The Lord has spoken about the peculiarity of His birth. Although He may appear like an ordinary person, He remembers everything of His many, many past births, whereas a common man cannot remember what he has done even a few hours before. If someone is asked what he did exactly at the same time one day earlier, it would be very difficult for a common man to answer immediately. He would surely have to dredge his memory to recall what he was doing exactly at the time one day before. Yet, many men often dare claim to be God or Krishna. One should not be misled by such meaningless claims. So we'll stop there for now. Then we'll continue as we go on. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Jai Srila Prabhupada. So Krishna says, Ajopi san avyayatma bhutanam ishwaropi san. So he tells Arjuna, I am Aja. Ja means Janma. Aja means no Janma. Or Krishna is unborn. Krishna is not like us. We are born from a particular mother. It can be a human mother or an animal mother, but there has to be a mother. We have a particular body based on a particular species of mother we are born to. But Krishna is not like that. Ajaha. But then Krishna seemed to have born from the womb of Mother Devaki. So that is why it's very important to understand this mystery behind Krishna's appearance. So Krishna says, I am actually unborn. Ajaha api sambhavami. Even though I am unborn, I appear. Sambhavami atma mayaya. By my own potency I appear. Atma Maya. I am not forced by an external potency. Like we are all forced. Can any of us tell that we had control over our birth? None of us were able to choose our parents. None of us were able to choose how beautiful we will be, how much strength we will have, how much intelligence we will have. Although we can do a little bit of change here and there, go to gym and build a little body or do some plastic surgery, but the base configuration won't change much. That means we are under the force of material nature, Mahamaya. But Krishna is not like that. Krishna is not forced by anything. He appears by Atma Maya. So Ajopi San, Avyayatma, I am unborn, I am Avyaya, inexhaustible. Inexhaustible means our body, it changes. Every body in the material world, it undergoes 6 transformations. Shadvikara. Everybody knows. We come into existence, we grow, we stay for some time, it produces byproducts, gradually dwindles, and then it becomes vanquished into oblivion. Everybody who has got a material body has to undergo this. But Krishna is Avyayatma. He does not undergo any change. So he is Ajaha, he is Avyayatma. Ajopi San, Avyayatma. Bhutanam Ishvaraha. I am the Lord of all Bhutas. Bhuta means living entities. Bhutanam. Not like us. But still I appear. Prakritim swam avastabhya adhishtaya sambhavami atmamayaya. So Prabhupada here, the purport, the few points he mentions so far what we read. Krishna remembered everything in his past lives. Krishna appeared in Sun Planet also. Many thousands, millions of years ago. He told Bhagavad Gita to Sun God, Vivaswan. And he is saying, oh Arjuna, in the previous verses, Bahuni me vetitani janmani tava cha Arjuna. You have passed many lives, I have also passed many lives. But I can remember everything. Therefore, I can tell that I have instructed this knowledge to Vivaswan, Sun God. Why? That is the difference between God and us. Why we forget is because we change our body. Our cells, they keep changing. Every 7 years, our whole body, the whole structure of the cells completely change. And we keep losing our memory. But God is not like that. God never changes his body. So, but a common man, so Prabhupada says, even though he may be a common man, cannot remember everything in his past life or even the previous day what he did, but sometimes there is a tendency to declare, oh, I am an incarnation. I am an avatar. Everybody claims, oh, I am avatar, he is avatar. So one time, Srila Prabhupada was walking along with his disciples. It's in Hawaii. That's the first time that they went to Hawaii. And so these disciples were telling a legend about Hawaii. How the Hawaii, it had Native Americans. So they had been in that Hawaii island for a very long time. And slowly the mainstream Americans went and encroached and all of that. So some of these white Americans, they entered this Hawaii, Native American land. And so these Native Americans, they never saw anybody white till then in their lives. And then when they saw this white man, they thought, he is God. Because they have never seen anybody like that in their life. He appeared completely different from everybody else. And he had, civilized clothes and all kinds of gadgets and all of that. Whatever, from that perspective, from that time, he had very advanced things. And so they started to treat him like God. And so he also started to take advantage. They would make him like a king and he would exploit them and abuse them and enjoy life like that. But one day what happened? He was walking and then he got tripped and fell upon a stone, and his knees, they started to bleed and blood was coming out. And these people looked at it, hey, what is this? God is also bleeding? He's also producing blood. I'm also producing blood. He's also producing blood. He's crying, he's screaming, he's shouting. Oh, he cannot be God. And then they realized, and then they killed him and ate him. So like this jackal, he fell into this tub of blue dye, and then it completely became blue. And then when it came out of that dye, all the animals in the jungle, they started to look reverentially and respectfully towards it. They never seen a blue jackal, a blue creature like that. And everybody started to worship him like the king or a creature of another universe or something. And so this jackal started to take advantage. But the jackal is always a jackal. A lion is always a lion. A man is always a man. So one day in the night, fellow jackals were all howling, shouting at some other place. And then this jackal started to howl and shout in response to them. And then they all figured out, oh, he is another jackal in the midst of us. Let's attack him. And then he ran away. So like that, the so-called avatara claims, oh, I am the avatara now. There are so many avataras, especially in India. Without understanding that avatara means this ajo pisan avyaya atma, he has to be unborn, not forced by the laws of material nature to accept a body. In Shastra, there are 3 conditions mentioned for somebody to be called an avatara. Very important to understand for us. Number 1, that avatara, if we have to accept it an avatara, it has to be mentioned in scriptures. Very important. Without mentioning in scriptures, nobody can be called as an avatar. Number 2, that avatara has to perform superhuman activities. Like Lord Rama, he floated these huge rocks on the ocean. You write the name of Lord Rama, he floats. It floats. Or Krishna lifting Govardhana hill with his left hand pinky finger. So like that, superhuman activities the avatara has to do. And third important condition is, there has to be this holy marks, auspicious marks on the palms and the feet, soles of the feet of the avatara. Without these 3 conditions, nobody can be called as an avatar. So the first thing has to be mentioned in scriptures. During Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time, 500 years ago, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was Krishna himself, but he was acting as a devotee of Krishna. When somebody would call him, oh, you are also Krishna, he would close his ears. So don't call me Krishna. So he was not calling himself as avatar, but we know he is mentioned in scriptures. So one time what happened, he went to Vrindavan. He went to Vrindavan along with 2 of his associates to take care of him for cooking and carrying his belongings and all of that. So one day one of his associates was going in a hurry to some place in the evening, late in the evening. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, hey, where are you going? Oh, Krishna has appeared again in Vrindavan. So everybody is forming lines. They are going to see this great Leela of Krishna. It's a very rare opportunity. Krishna has come back, even though he has left his abode 5,000 years ago. He seems to have come back, so we are all going to see that. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he chastises him. Do you believe all this nonsense that people are saying? Krishna already finished his pastimes. He's wind up his pastimes. Krishna does not come in Kali Yuga. The scriptures don't mention Krishna's, Bhagavatam doesn't mention Krishna's appearance in Kali Yuga. And don't fall for these cheap tricks of cheap people. And then later on, after a couple of days, they hear that, they find the real truth. They are going to this lake and seeing Krishna performing this Kaliya Leela. It's nothing but a fisherman in the middle of this huge lake, and somehow the reflection or something, it is appearing like a snake, and this fisherman carrying some lights. It's appeared like lights on the Kaliya and Krishna dancing on that Kaliya. So people come to realize, and then they think, oh, what a great mistake we have done. And then this associate says, yes, what you told is true. At another instance, Prabhupada was presented, oh, Prabhupada, there was one incarnation. He was saying he is incarnation of God. So Prabhupada said, what Leela he is performing? Did he show universal form? Because in Bhagavad Gita, just to make sure that in the future, if anybody claims themselves as avatar, they have to show the universal form. Just like Krishna showed to Arjuna. Prabhupada, he says, no, if you become my disciple, I will show you show my universal form. And then one disciple said, I actually went and told him, no, I am your disciple, can you give me $1 million? No, Prabhupada said, no, you should actually kick on your face and say, this is my Leela. It is your Leela. My Leela is, if you become disciple, I will show my universal form. Until then, I will not show my universal form. Then you should go kick on your face and say that this is my Leela. So there are all kinds of bogus incarnations, but people fall for it without understanding the true principles of Bhagavad Gita. How Krishna is Ajaha, Avyayatma. So the first condition is mentioned in the scriptures. Second condition is performing superhuman activities. Like how Krishna did, like how Rama did. Rishabhadeva, even Rishabhadeva's stool and urine were becoming aromatic, fragrant. It was spreading that fragrance for 84 miles. So that is yet another thing that you can understand. Because their bodies are not material, made of these material elements. Body is completely spiritual. And finally, the third condition is the auspicious marks on the feet. Like Krishna feet is supposed to have different auspicious marks like elephant gourd, thunderbolt, a flag, and different kinds of things, a fish. So they're all indicating something. Krishna's souls, he actually walks with his bare foot in Vrindavan. And whenever devotees they come, they see Krishna's imprints on the soil of Vrindavan, and then they take the dust, and then they don't even dare to walk on those footprints, because Krishna left those footprints. Like Akrura, when he went, as we know, Kamsa sends Akrura to bring Krishna and Balaram to where? Mathura? Why? To have them killed. Right? Because he knew that Krishna was going to kill him. So he sends Akrura. Akrura is actually a devotee of Krishna, but he was circumstantially working under Kamsa. So he goes to bring this Krishna and Balaram. So as soon as he comes down from the chariot, he sees this Krishna's soul marks on this ground, and then he goes into ecstasy. And then he rolls on the dust. Oh, this is my Prabho Ramuni Angri Rajam Si Aho Iti. This is my Lord's footprints. He goes into ecstasy. So Krishna's footprints have an elephant gourd. Elephant gourd is like they use that to control the elephants, right? So it means by focusing on Krishna's lotus feet, we can control the elephant-like mind. Mind is like very strong, elephant-like. And the force of it is so strong that we cannot stop that mind from thinking, from doing things. Mind is always carrying us. But the focus, the concentration, the meditation on Krishna's lotus feet is so nice that it can control even that elephant-like mind. So what does fish indicate? Krishna's, the insignia on his feet. There is a fish also. So what does fish indicate? Anybody? Why fish is there on Krishna's lotus feet? Huh? Never closes his eyes? Any other guess? Huh? Fish cannot stay out of water, so? Always pray to Krishna, you can always remain with Krishna. Okay, good guess actually. Getting close. Huh? Life started with Matsya Avatar, okay. Okay, aquatics are considered to be the first in the evolution, but that's only according to Darwin. All are very good guesses, very close guess also. But the thing is, you see, the water may be very violent. And water of an ocean, for example, violent waves can carry even the strongest of animals like elephant. Cannot withstand that violent waves. It just carries. But the smallest of fishes not only survives in that violent waves, but thrives, but enjoys, relishes, swims in that violent waves of water. Why? Because fish has taken shelter of the water. Fish's constitutional nature is of water. Fish belongs to water. So even if it is very small, it enjoys water. Whereas an elephant, big elephant, cannot withstand that forces. So like that, these waves of ocean represent these waves of material nature, and it can carry away, it can put us in tribulation. It doesn't matter who you are, however strong you are, how many material connections you have, how much intelligent you are. Dehapatya kalatradishu atma sainyeshu asatsvapi tesham pramatto nidhanam pasyannapi na pasyati. So people build their bodies, build their income, build their portfolio, career, relations, social network. They think Atma Sainya, these are all Atma Sainya. I'll be protected at times of need. But none of them will come to help at the time of need. One friend of ours, their mother was suddenly diagnosed with a terminal disease. And they were all shell-shocked. They all flew to India. All of them working well situated in US. They went to the doctor, gave a blank check. You take this check, please save my mother. The doctor said, it's not only me, no doctor in the world can save her. It's beyond any of our ability. And they couldn't save her. So they had wealth, they had everything at their disposal. So we think Atma Sainya, but they're all Asat, false protection. So, but a fish taking shelter of water can swim across the tides. So like that, if you take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, you can withstand these tribulations of this material nature. That's what fish represents. So what does thunderbolt represent? On Krishna's lotus feet, thunderbolt. So thunderbolt has got a very specific property, Vajrayudha. Huh? Indra's weapon. So thunderbolt, it can pulverize something to pieces. even great mountains, it can pulverize to pieces. So it is said that these mountains represent the heaps of our sinful activities. But meditation on Krishna's lotus feet, Dhyatur Manaha Shaila Nisrishta Shikharam, this one, if you meditate on Krishna's lotus feet, it can pulverize into pieces this huge mountain of sinful reactions. As Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita. Where does Krishna say that all your sinful reactions will be vanquished? Huh? Very good. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam raja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami masuchaha. Our heaps of sinful reactions will be excused, will be vanquished when we take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. Like you might have heard about these Naxalites. So to catch these Naxalites, the government announces a scheme. What is that? So you come and voluntarily surrender. We will excuse you of all the offenses you have done so far. Isn't it? People do take advantage of that. Otherwise, there is a long list of offenses that they'll be executed for. But the moment they come and surrender, they'll all be excused. But they have to abide by certain rules and regulations. You cannot go out of town without asking permission. You cannot buy a weapon. You cannot use a weapon. These kind of things. So similarly, surrender to Krishna comes with certain rules and regulations. And those are given by Krishna's representative, the spiritual master. So that is called Diksha or initiation. So when one becomes an initiated devotee to a spiritual master representing Krishna, Krishna accepts that person as his own, excuses all the offenses, provided they follow those rules and regulations. So Prabhupada, he gives these 4 rules and regulations. No meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit relations, and no gambling. And importantly, one should chant this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra 16 rounds. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So it is not very difficult. The chanting of Hare Krishna is a very easy thing to do, very joyous thing to do. Kevala Ananda Kanda. So just by following these simple things, one's sinful reactions will be excused. So like this, Krishna's lotus feet contains all these prints, and Krishna is always eager to give protection to his devotees. So in this way, one should understand the incarnation, not like sentimentally accept anybody and everybody. Somebody produces a small idol of gold. Oh, here is an incarnation. Or produces some vibhuti. Here is an incarnation. So somebody came and told Prabhupada, oh, Prabhupada, this incarnation is producing gold. And Prabhupada simply said, okay, he may produce little amount of gold. We are not after a small god who can produce small gold. We are after the god who can produce the gold mine. So Krishna is the one who produced the gold mine. The yogis can produce small things. They are all derivatives of the power of Krishna. So now, one may question, okay, if you are saying Krishna appears as he is, he is not born, but then Krishna also was born as a baby. Krishna also grew like a small boy. He became a young man. But miraculously, Krishna does not age after he becomes a young man. In fact, in Kurukshetra, anybody knows how old was Krishna when Kurukshetra happened? 60? 16? No, actual, by material calculation, how old was he? Not how he looked. 90 years. 125. Yeah, some say 90, some say 125. Here, Prabhupada says 125. So he was 125 years old. He had great-grandchildren. It's a big family, right? Krishna's family, Yaduvamsha. He had 10 children in each of his wives. And these 10 children in turn had 10 children each. And they had 10 children. Like that, millions of people. So Krishna was 125 years old, but he still appeared like a very young man. Krishna does not age beyond that. Even he's growing from childhood to that of young man. It is just like you see the sun in the sky. How does it appear when it starts to rise in the sky? It appears like a small, disc, like a semicircular disc. And then it grows big in size, and then it appears fully in a circle, and then it reduces its redness, it appears a little whitish, and then travels, and then it sets in the west and then completely disappears. Can somebody say, oh, sun is born, sun is growing in size, sun is exhibiting all these different features? Can somebody say that? So we'll stop when they are ready. Are they ready? Yeah. So we cannot say the sun is undergoing all these changes because the sun is constant, isn't it? To our vision, it appears like the sun is undergoing all these changes. Similarly, God is one. Krishna is one. He does not change his body. He does not grow like us. He does not become old like us. So according to our vision, he manifests. For devotees who are in Vatsalya Rasa, he manifests as a small boy. Devotees in conjugal rasa, he manifests as a young man, young boy. For cowherd boyfriends, he manifests as a young boy. So that is the nature of Krishna's appearance. In fact, when he appeared, you see any newborn baby, when they appear, and then you see Krishna, how he appeared. Tamadbhutam balakam ambujekshanam Shanka Chakra Gadadi Udayudham. He appeared like, with his beautiful lotus petal-like eyes, with his fully grown hair. No child will have a full-grown hair, scattered hair, curly hair. And he was born with Shanka Chakra Gadad Udayudham. All his conch, all this, paraphernalia of Lord Vishnu. Lotus flower, conch, disc, club, Chaturbhujam, Shanka Chakra Gadad Udayudam, Srivatsa Lakshmam Galashobhi Kaustubham. He appeared with a Srivatsa mark on his chest and Kaustuba jewel on his neck. With his ankle bells, with his waist belt, with his armlets, complete, decorated, shining. So which newborn baby can appear like that? And then Vasudeva prays to Lord Krishna. Oh, if Kamsa sees like this, he thinks now God has appeared to kill him. No, better you turn into a boy. They were thinking Kamsa can kill God because out of paternal affection. See, when you have a rasa with Krishna, you tend to forget that Krishna is God. Just like Yashoda and Vasudeva are thinking, or Vasudeva and Devaki were thinking, I have to protect my child. He may be God, but I have to protect my child. That is Yogamaya. So upon their request, Krishna turns back as a small boy. And then Vasudeva carries him across Yamuna to the house of Yashoda and brings Yogamaya back. Yogamaya is born to Yashoda. He brings her back. And then she starts to cry. And then Kamsa comes and then starts to attack that baby. Even against the wishes of Devaki, say, oh, this is a small girl. What has a girl got to do with you? No, I have to kill the girl. It doesn't matter. And he's about to dash her onto the stone, and then the girl slips out of his hand and then manifests 8 arms. She's nothing but Mother Durga. And then she says, oh rascal, oh fool, you want to kill me, you cannot even catch me. And the person who is destined to kill you is already born somewhere. So count your days. So this is the Leela of Krishna. Even a small boy, it's not that God becomes God because of some austerities, meditation, penances. God is God because He is God. Either He is a child, or He is as a young man, or as a boy. He performs godly activities, whether killing the demon Putana or killing a Kesi demon, lifting Govardhana hill, making the stones float on the ocean, cleaning the hearts of His devotees. He is God because He is always God. So we should take the instructions from Bhagavad Gita, understand who is real God, what is the nature of God, and not be deceived by so-called incarnations. I'll stop here. Anybody has any quick question or comment? So today, apparently, we have a teachers appreciation program. Some of the Sunday school staff, they have finished a decade of their commitment to the temple and teaching the kids. So we'll be appreciating them, their efforts in this journey. So we'll be seeing that in a few moments. Hare Krishna. Sushant, can you take this? Keep it there. Little heavy, actually. Yeah, it's a little heavy. Satish.
Vikram? Oh, okay. You will give it. Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone. So, we started our Sunday school, in 2012, actually. So, 2012, it's more than a decade. So, that's why we wanted to celebrate all the staff for a commitment. And we want to just appreciate their efforts for past 10 years or more, over 10 years. So in 2012, when we started Sunday school, you can't believe we just had 10 kids, just 10 kids. And we were